So families would come together one night a week, and they would, we'd have a meal first, and we provided, childcare and even transportation to the settings. We had them usually in churches or libraries or community centers. It was really a great experience, and there were definitely positive effects of the program, but we also knew that despite everything that we had done to make it easy for families to attend, it was still really difficult because many of them have shift wage work that they're doing. So, maybe this week they could come on Monday, but next week their schedule's going to change and then they can't come. So we did have difficulty with attendance, and we thought, how can we really overcome that barrier? And so one thing we wanted to pursue was, using technology to deliver the program. And there were a lot, this was back in the day, so there were a lot of naysayers that said these are, low education settings where, there aren't a lot of resources out there. I don't think, rural African American families are going to use a technology-based program. So we said, well, let's find out. So we did some, ethnographic work in the communities, and we found out that not everybody had a computer in their home, but they all had access to a computer. So a lot of times they'd go to the library to use the computer after school or those kind of things. So we felt pretty confident that we could do this. So we designed this program, and now it's called the Pathways to African American Success. And it's a really cool program. When we were designing it, we were thinking like The Sims. We wanted to be like The Sims. So we didn't quite get there, but it's still a pretty cool program. And so there are avatars in it that, you can customize to be like you. We tried to simulate the group dynamics because we know that community is really important. So you could interact with the computer-based avatars with your avatar. So it's, pretty great program. And so what we did was a 3-arm trial. This actually happened in Tennessee, where Velma McBride Murry is now at Vanderbilt, so we did it there. And so we had a 3-arm trial where there was, like a literature control group, kind of like we did in the SAAF study, and then a group format of the program, and then the technology-based version. And, we did it to say, can we really get families to engage, and then what is the effect of it? So we had families, families came to a lot more sessions in the technology-based group than in the regular group setting. So we had fewer people who never came. We had, people overall came to more sessions. And, one thing we wanted to know was, is there a difference? Because in this community, there's often, grandparents raising grandchildren. So, can we still engage older people in the caregiving role? And we found that actually grandmas were more likely to attend the technology-based sessions and less likely to attend the group-based sessions. So we thought that was really cool. So the interesting thing is that we did find different effects of the group-based version versus the technology-based version. So in the group-based version, we did have slightly better effects on things like kind of those general parenting, just like being supportive and warm and communicative. But in the technology-based version, we had better effects on things that were a little bit like, maybe I don't want to talk about this in a group setting. So things like, talking to your kid about sex, talking to your kid about drugs and alcohol, and talking to your kids about discrimination. We found better effects on those outcomes in the technology-based group as compared to the group-based group.